Welcome back, everybody, to Garlax. This is our second part and our finale of this cosmic horror story. Up top, of course, I need to give a trigger warning. This is a cosmic horror story. There will be many, many themes of death, potentially some gore, and if things go as planned, we may see also some harm to, or harm from and to children. Don't worry, it won't be harm to harmless children. I think we'll give our players a chance to introduce themselves quickly before we get started. Let's start with Night Harrow.
Am I refreshing my character description or my own description?
Your own description.
Hi, I'm Night Harrow. I have a couple of YouTube channels. One's Homebrewed Tabletop, where I cover all things TTRPG. I did a bunch of Gen Con videos recently, and then I also cover digital games on Night Harrow Gaming. So, and I'm a huge nerd and love talking about nerdy things, so always feel free to yell at me at any of the socials at Night Harrow.
Awesome. Thanks for being here. What about you, Ashley?
My name is Ashley Craft. I'm going to be playing Vincent, and you can find me online pretty much everywhere at Ashley Craft. It's ASHLEECRAFT. And the only exception that isn't is on Twitter. It's Ashley_Craft, but everywhere else is just Ashley Craft.
All right. Thank you for being here as well. And last but certainly not least, Len.
Hello, my name is Len. You can find me on Instagram at wood.len.creature, and tonight I will be playing Ammon.
Thank you all for being brave enough to be here tonight. Let's pick up with a recap of what you went through last time. When you travel alone, it's inevitable you'll speak with strangers. Sometimes you will become quick friends as Ammon, you corrected me earlier, Ammon, as Ammon, Vincent, Benny, and Garlax have. But most times, the conversations will be awkward and have no escape. Sunhall has given you many of these uncomfortable moments, but they weren't just through conversation. The road into town has vanished from view. Benny's father, who he was visiting, has cleaned up his act and is living out of what looks like a display home inside his trailer. And references, constant mentions of tonight's festival, the birding. Not sure what else to do, you investigated this trailer park potluck and met Thane, the village leader. His whole body was covered in burns so bad he could barely speak and he could not move. Even from his wheelchair, as you spoke with him, a ringing persisted inside your heads, persisted until you left his presence. Having had enough of this town and its strange oddities, you left the potluck to investigate further and hopefully to escape. Once you left, the birding began. All at once, hundreds of birds took flight, and one by one caught fire and fell back to earth like bright white falling stars. Having witnessed this horror, you continued snooping around town, alone and in the dark. Inside the place of worship, the only permanent structure in this town, you found something strange. A giant cube leaking white ooze floating freely above a strange and terrifying statue of an unspeakable creature. Benny smashed the statue to bits out of fear and wild hope. It was then that your bus driver, Garlax, finally reappeared. He had been missing, and the bus would not start. Garlax was injured, bleeding from his head. Best you can tell, he had gone fully insane, spouting gibberish and crying at the broken idol within the church. You treated him best you could, and when he came to, he could not remember much. He remembered stairs, though. And now, the villagers are all missing. The storm cellar doors by every property are wide open to the dark night sky. We pick up as you descend into one of them, Benny leading the way, heart pounding and makeshift weapon raised. The tunnel is dark. The stairs are cool. Cement lines the floor, walls, and ceiling as you descend down, down, down into this cellar, much deeper than a single floor or any normal storm cellar would be. When you finally reach the bottom, there is a single door at the end. The door appears to be made of wood, a dark wood, and has no discernible symbols etched into it, save for the handle used to open it. Benny, as you lead the way with Ammon, Vincent, and Garlax behind you, what do you do?
How thick and heavy do I think this door is?
Make a check. See if you can find out just by looking at it.
Six.
Probably breakable with a few strong kicks, strong and well placed. The wood seems very old and rotten in places. You can tell by the smell down here that there has been water damage and mildew collecting.
I think I'm just gonna hit it with the sledgehammer.
As you take your sledgehammer, you swing it with all your might straight into the door. Go ahead and make a check to break the door with the sledgehammer.
Rolled an 8.
I believe you get a D8, maybe even a D6 on this for because you're using a sledgehammer.
Okay. On the D8, yeah, that would be 4.
Oh yeah. With a single swing, you place the swing right at the handle, close to the latch, which just shatters and the door bangs open. And as it does, you can hear that noise, that breaking of wood and splintering onto the floor. You can hear it echo out into a large chamber beyond. Still very dark down here. Speaking of, do any of you have a light source?
The cell phone?
I think Vincent probably has like one of those really small like pen lights. Probably use it for reading usually, but it's what he has for now.
I've got
With
nothing.
2 dim little lights lighting your way over your shoulder, Benny. Your own shadow casts strange shapes onto the floor in front of you. As far as you can tell, this cavern is very large. As you take a step in, you can see that there are things along the walls, and the wall itself is slightly curved. As far as the light is not bright enough to reach all the way into the center of the room, but you can see that it's at least 30 feet across, and by the sound that it makes when your footsteps echo across it, probably much larger. The rest of you filter into this chamber through the door. How would you like to proceed?
Vincent, on his way in, picks up a shard of wood off the floor. Like, he looks at one that looks decently large and just kind of puts it in his back pocket, just in case.
Just in case vampires.
Yeah. He doesn't know.
Benny is going to do his best Jack Nicholson impression. Here's Johnny!
Johnny! It echoes throughout this chamber. The only sound that returns is the drip, drip of water from the ceiling.
Hey, Garlax. Hey, man. You got a flashlight in the bus?
Yeah, maybe. I'll go check real quick.
Okay, Hammond, you wanna go with him?
Sure.
Or maybe Vincent? I don't think we should go alone.
I can go with him if you want.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
You got a light, Hammond, right?
Yeah, he has one. He has his flashlight. I mean, his phone.
Okay. I'll also pull out my Nokia brick phone with like a tiny screen. Probably doesn't do anything besides point out where I'm at.
As you look down at your phone, definitely no service down here.
It's okay, Vincent I usually don't have service.
Rip. Vincent, so you're the one going up with Garlax?
Yes.
All right. While that happens, Ammon and Benny, what are you two doing down in this large chamber?
I think I'm just gonna put on some tunes. I'll just like leave the headphones around my neck so that Ammon here can jam out, and I'm just trying to convince myself that I'm the scariest thing down here.
That quiet, tinny rock music does manage to fill your heart and harden your soul against whatever might be in this darkness. What about you, Ammon?
I mean, can I roll to see if I can hear anything else besides what we've already heard?
Yeah, go ahead and make a check.
5.
You strain your ears, and just barely over the tinny music coming from Benny's headphones around his neck, you can hear whispers, almost like a chant.
Well, I don't like that.
You know, while we're waiting, actually, I think Benny is going to. He's only got a couple of things in his little JanSport backpack, but one of them is some face paint, and I think he's gonna do his best to put on a little clown makeup. He's only got 2 colors. It's black and white, but.
As Vincent and Garlax climb the stairs, Garlax will offer to go first ahead of you. As he nears the top, sort of slows down a bit, cocks his head slightly. He turns to face you, Vincent, and he's going to try to kick you right in the chest. I'd like you to make an avoid check, please.
Alright. Which one do I use? The D8?
This should be a D10 unless you have
D10?
something else.
I don't
Gives
think
you a
I have
bonus.
anything. No, I have sneak, that's what I have. I got a 1.
As he turns and you see him raise his foot, and you've been on edge this whole time, and it's finally paying off. You've just flattened yourself against the wall as his foot misses entirely. You have a chance to do something. We are going to make this combat.
Okay.
It is your turn. You can both move and make an action.
I don't know how far they're up the stairs they are, but he might.
Maybe
go down the
only like
stairs.
2 steps. Definitely inside the same zone.
Okay, so could he
in
run back over to the
Sagas,
others?
if you're inside the same zone of 15 and 20 feet in diameter,
Okay.
You are within melee. And you're definitely
Okay.
inside the same zone, and you're like right at the top of the stairs.
Okay. You might try to. Who's on the upper stairs? Garlax is on the upper stairs?
Yes, Garlax is between you and the exit.
Okay. You might try to, like, kind of pin Garlax against the wall and kind of restrain him.
Okay, yeah. Make a check to restrain Garlax just with your hands.
Okay, the D10.
Unless you got something that helps
No.
grappling or restraining.
No. 3.
And he got a 5. So you are fully overpowering this middle-aged and thin man. As you shove him back against the wall, his hat falls off, revealing again the trickle of blood on the side of his head. And he is going to look at you with a snarl, and he's going to pull out a knife, an old, like, broken and rusted blade, and is just going to slash at you. Go ahead and make an avoid check.
Okay. 8.
You lose 1 point of health, but you still have him restrained against the wall.
Okay.
And he
On my turn,
mutters,
can I also shout out to the others to let
"Oh
them know
yeah,
what's happening?
yes, you
Okay.
can do that."
Okay. He shouts down the stairs, "Hey guys, Garlax is being weird," and then that's right the point he's distracted shouting that, and that's when Garlax slices at him with the knife. Ah!
And Garlax, not shouting, but almost in a whisper, "Get out of my way." His voice is completely different from the little lisp that you had gotten used to.
Vincent shouts down the stairs, "I think he's possessed."
It is your turn, Vincent.
I think what I have. We tried to push Garlax down the stairs to try to get him on the flat ground at the bottom because it'd be easier to fight him down there.
You can. It is it
Alright.
is a ways down. It's like 3 or 4 flights of stairs.
Okay. He's still gonna try. 2.
And Garlax got a 1.
Ooh.
So as you try to maneuver and push him back down the stairs, he instead takes his hands and just knocks yours aside. And Garlax is going to run up the stairs, out of the tunnel, and he's going to take both doors and slam them shut. And Ammon and Benny, you all now hear this as Vincent shouts out, and you hear the doors slamming shut.
Hey guys, he just left the basement, and he also stabbed me in the shoulder.
You can hear
It seemed
chains
like he was
being
possessed
pulled
or
through the
something.
handle.
He wasn't talking in his normal voice or anything. He tried to kick me down the stairs. I think that maybe the people aren't maybe in this one. Maybe we should, try to see where they're at if we can get out of this basement, or maybe we have to go deeper in the tunnel to do that.
Did hear some whispering in here, so deeper might be the way, although I don't like that.
No, but I don't. The chains are around the door, so I don't really think we can do much as far as that goes.
Now that Vincent is back in view, you can see just this open cut across his chest and shoulder.
Garlax did that. He tried to kick me, and then I pinned him to the wall, but that's when he started talking in a weird voice, and then he took out a knife, and that's what happened.
I say we just keep going deeper in.
I think it's really our only choice.
All right. I'll finish putting on my clown makeup, and then I'll continue in.
Steeling yourselves, you continue further in armed with a sledgehammer and 2 small lights.
I also have a hatchet.
And a hatchet, that's right. You did pick up some weapons at the end of the last time. As you continue down, or across now, into this chamber, you can start to see pillars that hold up the ceiling. The ceiling is actually quite low. It's only like a 10-foot ceiling, like a normal floor. Leaning against these pillars are all sorts of pieces of artwork. You can see statuettes and paintings and sculptures and graffiti on the pillars, and they all seem to be depicting one of 2 things. Either they show what you saw earlier, the birding, birds falling out of the sky, having been caught alight with a blazing white flame, or they show the statue, the idol, in the place of worship on the surface that Benny had smashed, but not made of stone, alive and big, like looming over a horizon big. You continue walking past these till you can see a flickering light in the distance. You've gone maybe 400 or 500 feet into this chamber now. Pillars still lining at almost random intervals to hold up the ceiling. You want to do anything to prepare as you approach this flickering firelight?
Vincent gets his pitchfork at the ready. I think he dropped it when Garlax tried to kick him, so he picked it up off the stairs before they left the stairs. And he also he was equipped it from the beginning with his like little kind of pocket knife, so he puts that, make sure it's at the ready where he can access it as well.
As you do, and you approach this light, Ammon, the whispering that you heard earlier continues to get louder and louder. Sha sa ka ka sha sha. Sha la sha sika. You can see figures dancing in this firelight, moving quickly, casting long shadows along this concrete floor. You realize the whole village is down here. There's a ring of people around a giant bonfire in the center. The people on the very outside are standing still, holding hands, chanting in whispers. Ones on the inside are dancing almost violently, so furious, fast. In the middle of this fire, this bonfire, whose heat you can feel from 50 or so feet away, you see a orb, strange rock. Looking at its surface, you can't tell if portions are convex or concave. The fire itself doesn't seem to be heating it, just casting strange flickering shadows across its unnatural and alien surface. Do you continue approaching?
Vincent kind of steps back and stands against one of the walls, just kind of trying to weigh his options. He's learned about a lot of things, but he's never quite seen this before.
I think Benny's gonna let Vincent take the lead on this one. If we need to smash something, he's here for it. But he's a little bit out of his depth.
I think all of us are.
Vincent does have the most occult knowledge, which seems relevant at this time. So.
That is true. I think I'll roll and see if he knows anything. Would investigation or knowledge apply to this?
Oh,
try to figure out
occult knowledge would definitely apply to this weird ritual happening in this giant basement.
Okay. Well, I'll roll for that and see what he knows. 8.
Your occult knowledge is considered vast, even among your peers. This is entirely alien to you.
I suppose we have to, do something to figure out how to stop them. I don't know what I've learned a lot of things, but I never dealt with something like this, to be honest.
So there's a ring of people around the outside, around a bonfire in the middle of this thing, with an orb floating above it.
Yep. They seem to be worshipping the object.
I mean, I guess I'll walk up and hit it with a hammer.
That definitely would get their attention.
You walk slowly through the crowd of whispering people. They seem to notice you. They just continue chanting. The dancers continue dancing. You're hoisting your hammer, and you look up at the orb, a little bit higher than head height above you. The bonfire at your knees is hot. You can see flecks of white sparking from it, like there's some sort of chemical inside whatever's being burned here. You take your hammer, lift it with 2 hands above your head, and swing. I'd like you to make an attack roll, please. As the villagers just let this happen, Vincent and Ammon watch on.
2.
Crack! There is a ear-splitting sound that echoes through this space. And you can see a crooked white seam of light appear in the side of this orb. And with a you can see it begin to spiderweb across the surface. The worshippers shout out in cries of ecstasy or pain. Ah! Ah! Just at random intervals. And you can hear one familiar voice whispering, "Now is the time, child. Now is the time." You turn and you can see the mother and child that you saw at the birding. The child that had taken a bite out of this charred, raw crow fallen from the sky, and the mother that had egged him on to do it. Pain will return. He'll come back. And with it, our master. The boy, no more than 7 or 8, looks up as the white cracks continue to spiderweb across this surface. And as he looks up, you can see his eyes get wide and wider and wider, and his mouth slowly opens. And when he turns to you, Benny, you can no longer see eyes, teeth, or a tongue, just starry voids filling 3 holes in his face. His hands suddenly spring to life with that same white fire you had seen. And from this emptiness inside his mouth, you can hear Thane's voice. When strangers initially came into our town, I was worried, I will admit. Your presence here has proved most useful. Now, I'm very curious. In the past, people have done all they could to flee, to run from our worship, our way of life. I must ask, each of you in turn, Benny, why are you helping us?
I'm a juggalo, bitch. I'm gonna turn and hit again with a hammer.
Go ahead and make another attack roll against the orb.
3.
With a 3, again, cracks form. Pieces start to fall out of this orb that floats. It slowly like moves away from the fire as pieces begin to fall into the bonfire at your knees, and immediately the bonfire changes color. It is now white, just like the child's hands, just like Thane's hands. And I take it Juggalos wish to see our master released as badly as we do. Good. Vincent, with your knowledge, you wish to see what our master will bring to this world? You want to see the apocalyptic flame that burns as bright as any star? What do you want to see?
I've seen worse before.
Then you have found your place amongst us. Ammon, we could have use for one with your talents. Word of our master must be spread.
I already did a mission. We don't need to. I'm good.
No, you must join us.
Oh.
Bathe in the light. If
Listen,
not,
she's already been in a cult. I'm wearing clown makeup, and I don't think Vincent is interested. I'm gonna swing at the gem again once more.
one last attack roll.
A 1.
And with the crit, this thing shatters like glass beneath your sledgehammer into 1,000,000 pieces. They scatter like stars across the floor. And as they touch the villagers surrounding you, each one of them turns towards you with the same face and hands as the child. Voids in their eyes and mouth as they look on. An endless, empty, and silent scream coming from them. And hands alight with the same white fire, like a burning magnesium. If you're not joining us, then die. And I will need everyone to please make reaction checks.
I'm bad at
The-
that.
The D10?
A D10 unless you have something that says otherwise.
I'm a coward.
Time to run!
Since I got a 2.
6.
Fine.
With a, let's see, a 2. Vincent at the top. 6
for
puts
Benny.
Benny second. Unfortunately, then goes the horde of villagers. And last is Ammon. So, Vincent, there is a horde of villagers now, all slowly walking and making their way towards you like zombies armed with fire. What are you going to do?
Are they any closer to any of the other two that I could help one of the other, kind of like fend off one of the ones coming towards one of the other two, or not?
Right now, So mechanically how this is going to work is these zombies are a colossal horde, which means they take up multiple zones.
Okay.
The only one that is inside their same zone right now is Benny. He had to get there to smash this orb.
Okay. So they're all heading towards Benny, or?
Some are heading towards Benny, and others are reaching out towards you and Ammon.
Okay. He would probably take a swing at whatever one's closest with the pitchfork.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. And which die do I use for the pitchfork?
A pitchfork is just a common weapon. It won't give you
Okay.
an extra die, but it doesn't require anything special to use.
Okay, so is it the D10?
Just a D10.
Okay, cool. 5.
A 5 will hit as you run one of these villagers through. Immediately, their hands go out, their eyes and mouth return to what they should be, and they look at you in nothing but fear and shock. As you yank the pitchfork back out, that villager falls to the ground, eyes open and not moving. Do you want to move?
Yes. I want to move. I'm trying to remember what sneak gives me to see if there's any advantage I could use, because I do have sneak.
You would
Sneaking when I'm
have
going
to
behind full cover.
Right, you can go behind full cover, but it would take an action to attempt to hide from them.
Okay, I'm not going to do that yet, but I just want to know for the future.
Yeah. So you just like
I'd
duck
probably-
behind a nearby pillar.
Yeah, I'm not doing that this turn, I think. I think I'm actually
Okay.
going to move to go a bit closer to Benny, because I think more of them are
So you're
coming
going to
from him.
move into the horde of people?
Yes.
All right. Next up is you, Benny. You and Vincent are now in the same zone as this one of the zones that this horde takes up, and that means you are both overwhelmed. Normally, what this means is when a zone is over capacity, nobody in the zone can attack. Nobody has room to, unless you are big or herd, or you're a large creature, which that doesn't apply to either of you right now. So neither of you can attack until you escape this. Because you're also inside a horde, they have a thing called overwhelm, which makes it difficult to move out of their zone. So as they're all grabbing you with these flaming hands. It is your turn, Benny. You have a movement and an action.
There's still a bonfire nearby, I guess, at my back or whatever.
Yes.
Still fire in here.
Bonfire's
Okay.
still within reach.
Okay. I'm going to take off my Jansport, and I'm going to throw it into the fire. That's my action.
Okay. And just as a quick reminder, there's a pipe bomb in there, right?
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm a juggalo.
Chaos. Chaos will save us.
Also the rest of my clown makeup, so maybe I could get like a Jackson Pollock thing going on.
Yes. Absolutely. So as you toss your backpack, go ahead. What?
I'm gonna look at Vincent and I'm gonna say, it's very brave and also a really bad idea for you to come this way. I'm gonna hold up
What you
my
do on your
hand
own.
with my missing finger and the kind of mangled other fingers.
All right. As the backpack sails the couple feet into the fire, it immediately catches, and the fumes from the face paint, one of the containers must have broken open because you can smell this nasty, disgusting, burning chemicals for a split second before everything goes white with this fire. I need, let's see. I'm going to need, trying to figure out how, this is a common explosive that is going off. So that is an avoid check for each of you, and the difficulty is 4.
Okay. Which one do I use? I don't know if is the smell still happening or not, because I have sensitive sense smell, so I don't know if that means I need to use the D10 or what does that mean?
Ooh, that would
I also have
absolutely apply
sensitive
here.
sense hearing, so
Not
So
anymore.
with the sensitive sense smell, yeah, that would apply now as this
Okay.
chemical just fills your nostrils. It starts to almost feel like it's burning them from the inside out. All of your checks are going to need a D12, I think, is
Okay.
how this works.
Okay. Because I mean, it says D10 is what it said on the sheet. That's what I wrote next to it.
Oh, in
but
that
I
case,
don't-
this is the because we're not using the version that is coming out in 2 days.
Oh.
We are using a slightly older one. No, I
Okay.
never gave you that version. I gave
okay.
you 0.6,
Okay.
which is early access only.
Okay.
So sensitive sense.
And I also have the sensitive hearing as well.
I'm sorry, I got
Gotcha,
the organic
okay.
face paint, and I think it's made out of bat guano. It smells horrible when it burns, turns out.
At least now he knows what it smells like. It's a science experiment.
There you go. Learning every day. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. This would use a D10.
Okay, cool. I got a 2.
Oh, that's good. And Benny?
I crit failed.
Ooh, like a high number, I assume?
I maxed it out, yeah.
Oh no. As the bomb goes off, immediately, Benny, you are blown backwards. You lose 2 health.
I'm really glad I took that extra health.
Oh
point.
yeah, because we're at level 1. You only have 2 health, unless you got like the tough or something. Or the
Yeah,
thick skin.
yeah. I have thick skin. Yeah.
Vincent
Yeah,
also
I
has
think that's
thick
the only
skin.
way to get 3 hit points at level 1. So as the bomb goes off, Vincent, you, with Benny's warning, you quickly duck behind a one of the villagers who's sort of like it's actually Benny's father, this big hulking figure, mostly bald. You just like put your back to him, and he takes the full brunt of this explosion. One of the pieces of the pipe gets sent right through his head, just putting a hole in the center. And Benny's father hits his knees. His eyes change back to normal. His mouth, you can see, is still open in terror. His hands go out, and he slumps to the floor, very dead. Many other villagers have been thrown back, much like you, Benny, and it looks like they're not getting up. You're the only one that's getting up from this right now. And so that's another 2 damage to the horde. So it's taken 3 total. With that, it is now the horde's turn. They are going to descend upon Vincent and Benny. I need both of you to please make avoid checks.
Okay. I got a 6.
1.
Ooh, nice. So as you, actually, they don't even attack you, Benny. They assume you're dead, just like the rest of the villagers that got caught in the blast. Vincent, however, they very much see standing, one of the few still left in this blast radius. And they just descend on you with these flaming hands. One of them grips your wrist, another one grabs you by the hair, which catches on fire, and a second and a third one go for your throat. you take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
You're not actually restrained. You manage to get out of their grasp quickly, but they leave burns on you.
Okay.
And with that, the next is, at last, Ammon.
So, where Ammon's at, can he see Thane?
Thane, the burned victim that you met in the wheelchair, you have not seen him down here.
I've
But
not
there
seen him at
is,
all.
you can see the child that was speaking with his voice.
Okay, sorry. Then I probably want to attack the child.
I was waiting for someone to say those words. All right, as the child's hands glow even more brightly than anyone else's, go ahead and make your attack with the hatchet, I assume.
Is that a 10 or
That would be a D10.
4?
That is a hit. As you bury the hatchet, so to say, into this child's back, right between its shoulder blades, he and lashes out backwards against you, and that is going to be the attack they take on their turn. But the child is not dead. Definitely took damage, but is not dead. It appears this is a separate creature, is not part of the horde. And with that, that brings us back to the top with Vincent.
Vincent probably will use this turn to sneak and then hide behind one of the pillars to just kind of regain his composure after everything that's just happened and try to figure out what to do next.
Okay.
So do I have to roll
go
for
ahead.
that or not?
Go ahead and use your action to make a check to hide behind the pillar.
Okay.
Actually,
roll
no.
the
First,
D8
you
for
have
sneak or
to.
what?
First, you have to successfully move out of the zone, because you are currently surrounded by villagers, and it's kind of hard to hide in like a crowd from the crowd.
That makes sense. So is that the sneak roll or is that the regular
This would
D10
be
check?
a movement check to get out
Okay.
of this zone.
That makes sense. 2.
Yeah, you absolutely succeed. You just with ease, ducking beneath all the outstretched arms with holding this blazing flame, and you duck behind a pillar. Now you can go ahead and make a check to hide.
Okay. 3.
3 is pretty good. It seems that nobody managed to turn around in time to see where the heck you went. There's not a lot of options, and if they move this way, they're going to find you pretty quick, but right now you are hidden.
Okay, cool.
Benny, as you get up from being knocked down by your own pipe bomb, it feels very familiar. This is not the first time you've been knocked down by your own pipe bomb. What are you going to do with your turn?
Yeah, so the horde there's still plenty of these guys lined up, right?
Oh yeah.
I think I'm just gonna take a big old swing and see how many of them I can hit with the sledgehammer.
Start mowing them down. Go ahead and make your attack roll. This will be a D10.
Okay. The sledge gives me a D8, right? Or no? Or does
It
this
gives you a
special-
D8 on... I'll read you out the actual stat book real
Okay.
quick.
Don't make me re-roll. I rolled a 1.
No, I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry.
No.
This is both a tool and a weapon and requires 2 hands to wield. Checks to break objects with the sledgehammer may use a D8. This does not
okay.
apply to attacks made with this weapon.
Okay. That makes sense. I rolled a 10 on the D10.
No!
I think that sledge might have taken some damage or something.
Oh
during
no.
the,
You can feel that the head of the sledgehammer is beginning to get a little bit loose, and you that worry sort of like slows your swing, and the nearest villagers are all managed to like take a step back from you before surging forward again. This time, they are going to make attacks against Benny and Ammon. I need you both to make avoid checks, please.
Benny rolled a 4.
8.
A 4 succeeds. An 8 does not. The horde is going to, as the child swipes out towards you, manages to catch you in the chest, and you feel this searing pain across your skin. Your shirt is now burnt, and you can see where you would expect a wound to be beneath it. It did not actually burn you. It just hurt like hell. You do take 1 point of damage. And next up is you, Ammon.
I would like to attack the child again.
All right. As you rip the hatchet out of the child's back, you go again, this time for its front. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
3.
That is a hit. As you, actually, I don't think this, yeah. This child only had 2 health, so how do you want to do this?
I killed a child.
Let me clarify. This is no child. This is a cosmic horror, a void of nothing from which you can hear a dead man speak that is bent on taking over and destroying the world. Child is no longer applicable here.
Yeah, so Evan pulls the hatchet out of the kid's back and then just swings around and chops off his head, probably.
And with one smooth stroke, all of your strength behind it, both of your hands, the blade catches. You can feel it catch on the neck. Your eyes are closed, but you can feel it go clean through, cutting skin, flesh, and bone. You hear the body flump on the floor in front of you, and without even looking at it, you turn towards your friends who need help. Next, Vincent.
What is the horde going for Benny, or where are they right now? He's probably gonna try
right
to
now,
help
everyone except you is gathered around this fire. Ammon is slightly away from it, not actually a part of the horde.
Okay.
But Benny is about to be overrun again.
Okay. Vincent would probably... I don't think he could probably get to where Benny is, but probably try to fight some of the ones closest to him that are heading towards Benny. So you stab at them with the pitchfork.
Okay, make another attack roll.
2.
That is a hit. You do deal 1 damage, and you bring down yet another one. Is that the end of your turn, or you want to move closer?
I think I'll stay where I am for now.
All right.
Kind of survey
then
which
Benny,
one I want to
you're
get
up.
next, or my next turn.
What do you want to do,
That
Benny?
was me. Sorry, I guess it cut out there. I didn't hear you. So we've just got the horde left, right? That's all we've...
Yeah, but it's quite a horde. There's like
Yeah.
20, 30 people still.
I think I need to back up to kind of regroup a bit. And then I'm gonna pull my personal size 1.5 or 1.25 liters, because apparently that's what these come in now, Mountain Dew bottle, and I'm gonna take a big old chug, utilizing my trailer park metabolism to heal for 1 point, if I can. Can I do that in combat? Can I use heal in combat?
What ability
It's-
do you have?
It's heal.
That lets
I'm
you
just
heal.
flavoring it. It says you can heal someone 1 point if that's in melee. I don't know if that counts.
And this is a power, right?
Yeah.
So, powers don't exist in our world. That's the whole point. So it's not just drinking Mountain Dew that you're doing. It looks like a small hole was melted into this. You don't even notice this. Benny doesn't notice. This is for the audience's benefit. But there is a small chunk of that orb that melted its way into this Mountain Dew. Its color has changed to a almost more pale, sparkling glow, but still retaining that green tinge, because nothing can defeat the power of green 3 food coloring dye.
Must be one of those weird flavors. I don't remember getting the morning dew.
And you just take a swig, and immediately you can feel the burns on your chest begin to heal.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Just processed sugar, caffeine.
All right, and that is your action, right?
Yes.
And the horde is going to move away from Ammon and towards you, Benny. I would like you to make 2 avoid checks.
Eight and a 6.
An 8 is a failure. A 6 is a success. You lose 1 point of health. That is the horde's turn. They continue to swarm around you. You are now overwhelmed again. You cannot attack unless you move out of this zone. And you are back down to 1 health, I believe.
Yes.
That is the horde's turn. Ammon, they've moved away from you, even though you've just slain what may have been their leader.
Remind me of like the layout of this room. Like, is there somewhere that we could like run away?
You are pretty
Or are we
close
kind of
right now
enclosed?
to the, there's a bonfire sort of centrally located. Off to one side, the opposite side of the fire of you, is the horde overwhelming Benny. And between you and that and you is Vincent, who's just been picking off the ones on the outside. This room, however, is still, as far as you can tell, even though all of these hands are super, super bright, and now you can see about 100 feet in every direction, it's still just empty. Nothing but pillars. Some of them have those strange art pieces on them. But every direction right now is potentially an escape route.
Hey, Hammond.
Yeah.
You've been in a cult, right? Where
Yeah.
would the leader be?
I mean, usually just off in a fancy room sitting on a plush red chair.
We gotta find that chair.
Let's see, because I don't want to abandon my friends. So I don't know if I should attack the horde or try and run and see if I can find something.
It is okay to roll dice to make decisions if your character's struggling.
I mean, I rolled to see if I would be able to find something. If I...
No, I mean like you say, on an odd I'll do this, on an even
Oh,
I'll
I know
do
that. I was wondering if I could
Oh, you
roll
want
see
to
if-
roll. Yeah, as you, what are you looking for? Just a way out, a tool of some sort?
I mean, we were just talking about trying to find, like, the leader, the main hub, or whatever. Maybe that.
Yeah. Roll a check to see if you can determine where the leader might be. Nate? This right now, these villagers are like a mindless horde of zombies. It is almost impossible to gain any information from them. They seem hell-bent on killing whatever's in front.
Okay. Is that my action, or can I also attack?
That would have been your action to make a check. You are like a good like 30 feet away from the horde at this point. You could just move closer to it.
Okay.
All right. And with that, it is, it would have been the child's turn, but the child is gone. Now it is back up to the top with Vincent.
Vincent's gonna try to pick off another one from the outside edge.
All right, another attack roll.
9.
9 is not enough. As you swipe at one of the people on the outside, they sort of just, one of their brilliant hands flashes right in front of your face, taking a swipe at you, momentarily blinding you. And you can no longer see the target you're swinging at, and it just misses wildly. Benny.
Yeah, can I? I'm a pretty big boy, 6'2", better part of 300 pounds. Can I move through move through these guys to where I can get enough room to be able to swing again?
Yes, please make a check to get to wade through these villagers.
Do I get like a D8 on this since I'm so much larger than them?
No, this would just be a normal D10.
8.
An 8 is not enough. You can feel them grabbing your shirt, grabbing you around the ankles. One of the smaller ones has fully just wrapped their arms around your middle. And you are unable to get enough space to swing with any sort of use. You can do anything except attack with your action. That includes trying to move again, pushing some of the pushing all of the horde, I guess. I'm not gonna lie, I guess I won't allow you to make a check to forcibly move the entire horde away from you.
I think Benny's prepared for this. He's been in a mosh pit before. He's just gonna start jumping around and just flailing his body around, like throwing elbows, trying to just get out. Just he wants to be a big enough of a problem that people just don't want to be near him. He's seen that guy at the mosh pit who's just trying to like hurt somebody for no reason. That's what he's trying to do right now.
Go ahead and make another movement check.
Benny is also in his head thinking like, my whole life has prepared me for this moment.
You have so many applicable skills.
Yeah, it's like this is meant to be. I think I found my calling. 3.
A 3 is a success. As you elbow one of the villagers in the jaw, they just like drop and start to get up, but you are able to step over them and spin into the next zone, slightly away from this horde. You successfully move out of it, but it is now the horde's turn.
Benny starts to think in his head that this is like signs, and that like he just needs to figure out the things in his life that like have led him to this moment with the skills and the knowledge that he needs to, you know, protect his new friends and stop whatever is going on here. Clearly this was meant to be.
It definitely was. The horde, however, is going to lash out at one of those friends and at you again. Ammon and Benny, please make avoid checks.
Ooh, 4.
4 is a success.
I also got a 4.
Also a success. This horde is not having much luck. As they continue to swipe around, they are not able to move because I'm using the zombie horde stat block, and that's just part of their thing. They can either attack or move, not both. So, that's the horde's turn. Ammon, you're up.
So none of us are like in the thick of it at this point, right?
Yeah, you're all just sort of like on the outside. None of you are
Okay.
overwhelmed.
So if we were gonna run, now's the time.
I think now would be the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what Ammon's gonna do. He's gonna run.
You turn and begin fleeing away from this horde. Just one movement. Use your movement to move one zone, and use your action to move another. Next up is Vincent. Are you going to follow?
Yes, Vincent, when he sees Ammon running, is going to take that as his cue because he's kind of been waiting for that, but he was trying to be brave, but he also was way out of his league, so when he sees Ammon doing it, he's like, I'm going there too. So he also is going to use his movements the same way.
All right. Benny, are you doing the same?
Yeah, I guess. I assume we're going somewhere. I'm like, is he this way? And I'll follow after everybody. He doesn't think we're running away. He just thinks we're running towards the cult leader.
As the three of you very quickly put this brightly glowing horde of mindless villagers behind you, we are going to take our break for the evening. If you need it, both viewer and player, stand up, stretch, get something to drink, hydrate, do what you need to for the next 15 minutes. We will be back at the bottom of the hour. Looking forward to where this is going to go. See you all in about 15 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a restful break, because it is going to get even more intense from here on out. Where we left off, our group had successfully escaped from a horde of insane and transformed villagers. Their eyes and mouths like empty starscapes, and their hands ablaze with the same white fire that you've seen now both on the birds and in the bonfire that was at the center of their ritual. Benny has shattered their orb object, and they don't seem any worse off for it. As you continue running down and away from this light, you can hear the strange moans and shouts of the horde behind you as they try to follow, but you three are much too fast for them. You run continually into the darkness. You turn your phone and pen lights back on to try to light the way. Where are you trying to go from here?
Emma, do you think he was this way?
Where do you think?
Yeah, I think Evan's main thought was away. So, I mean, could I roll again to try and see if I can find a good direction to be going?
Yeah, go ahead and make a check. Try to figure out what
Vincent
direction.
would also like to make a check.
To try to figure out where the leader might be?
Yeah.
Alright.
4.
9.
With a 9, indeed, you were focused on getting away, and you are not sure how to answer Benny's question. Fortunately, Vincent, with a 4, you gather that going back up might be the best option here. You are not sure if you can stop whatever's happening here, but if there is a leader behind all of this, you don't think that, and if they weren't part of the ritual, they are probably nowhere near the ritual.
Hey, guys, there's a lot of tunnels down here, and I don't know if we have enough time to try to figure out, without getting lost, what might be down here. It would, from what I know, a lot of times the cult leader may be above ground or something like that, or be, far away from the activities if they're not participating. So our best option might be to go above ground again, if we can get up there.
So, let everybody else drink the Kool-Aid, but you're, skipping
You get away from the
town.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah. All right.
It's not too much time before you run into the outer wall of this cavern, and following it along, you find another closed door. Not the one that you shattered beforehand, but a different one, leading hopefully upwards and out.
Your sledgehammer still have enough life in it, Benny, to try to smash that door?
Yeah, the head's a little wobbly, but I think it'll do it. I'll take a swing at it. I won't check the handle. Two.
And again, with the same procedure as beforehand, you aim for the handle, and the latch just shatters as the door swings inward, broken and bent now. And you start running up these stairs, and thankfully the iron and steel doors at the top of the staircase are open. You emerge right behind the house where you were originally planning on staying. This set piece that Benny's now dead father claimed he was living in.
when he left and said he was going to get Thane, did I notice, or did anybody else notice what direction he went in when we first got here? He said he was going to get Thane, right?
Can Vincent
I remember.
see if he noticed? It seems like the kind of detail he might notice because he observes things a lot. So kind of roll to see if you noticed.
Yeah, Benny and Vincent, go ahead and give me checks to see if you can remember what direction he left in.
Vincent got a 10.
So I rolled a 12 because Benny is ignorant or naive. I felt like it was appropriate, but I got a 3.
There you go. Even the biggest die can still crit. You do remember. It was actually directly away from the church. You didn't think anything of it at the time. You figured there might be another building that direction. But it was like on its way away from like the center of town.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys remember, but when my dad was saying he was going to get Thane, he headed off that way. So, unless you guys have a better idea, maybe we head that way?
I think that sounds a good plan to me.
All right. Can I... Well... Yeah, that sounds good. I'm just wondering if we need a swap or change weapons along the way. GM out of character here. Are there better weapons that for doing damage to non-inanimate objects that readily exist that I might be able to acquire? Because I assume this is a trailer park, so even if the trailers are like really spread out, they're still pretty close.
So weapons in sagas are divided into 3 categories: common, uncommon, and exotic. All common weapons are not going to give you a higher die. At least ones inside this story. And in order to use uncommon or exotic weapons, you need the associated talent and training to use those. Guns are uncommon. You can,
unless you're in
theory,
Texas.
Right, unless like for a recent game, for actually tomorrow's game, little plug, we're doing a Western and guns are common in that. But here, okay. Guns are uncommon and would require a little bit of training to use.
All right. Well, I'll stick with the handy sledge. It's
yeah,
treated me well,
as
long as I don't think it's going to fall apart.
You've never been the best judge of that, but you're pretty confident right now.
Cool.
So you continue in that direction that your father left when he went to get Thane?
Yep.
It is still nighttime. Pitch black outside, save for the huge expanse of stars above you. You can still see, at this far away from any cities and light pollution, you can see the Milky Way, just this stripe of countless white dots spanning across the entire horizon, one side all the way above you down to the other side. It's good to know that you're still alive. This fresh air feels good on your skin and inside your lungs. You are able to take deep, calming breaths as you walk through these taller grasses. You continue going further and further away, and just when you're considering turning back towards the trailer park, you can see a little light in between some trees in the distance.
We might want to make sure he doesn't have a guard or anything, because your dad did say that there's usually somebody watching him, so we might have to fight them as well if they're not down with everybody else.
Yeah, Vincent, you seem like you were pretty sneaky. Do you want to try to, like, sneak up and we can maybe have, like, the element of surprise?
Would Vincent benefit from the sneak on that, or is he only good at hiding? Would that apply to that or not, the sneak skill?
Yeah, that would absolutely apply here.
Okay. Okay, cool. We'll use that then. I think that might be a good idea. If we can, I'll try to get as close as I can to, see what's going on in there, and we can go from there.
Do you want to borrow the sledge, or?
I think I'm fine for now, but thank you. 3.
You feel sufficiently hidden. It's very easy to sneak when it's this dark out. Where do you want to go?
I'm sneaking up, and I'm gonna try to look in one of the windows.
Okay. As you sneak up and begin peering inside, trying to find... This is indeed a cabin, a small cabin.
Okay.
With some light coming, flickering, almost like a fireplace is lit inside. And as you peek inside one of the windows, you can see a quaint one-room cabin. A table in one corner, a bed in the other, and no chairs, which is not that strange when you think about who lives here. And you can see Thane, or who you assume to be Thane, sitting in his wheelchair, fire flickering in front of him as he stares into it. And you can see back of his head still warped and bent and bald as a result of his full body burn. But no other people in.
Okay. Vincent would sneak back over to the others and report that information. So it's good. There doesn't look like there's anybody else there, and but he
Maybe
might
we
be in
should-
some kind of trance or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're digging a lot of holes. Should we see if there's anything around this cabin area? Just before we go in. Like to take a look around, see if there's any other doors or anything like that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Go ahead and make a check to find other ways in or out.
Is this an investigator check?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Vincent got a 5.
And he got a 1. Might have tripped on something.
Oh no, sorry. You got a 1. That's a good thing. Brain.
And Vincent, you look around and you're not really seeing anything. And Benny, as you're approaching, you step on something hard and hear something hollow and wooden beneath your foot. You look down and there's a trapdoor, not 20 feet from the house.
I say, hey guys, there's a trap door here. I say we go in this way. What do you think?
Definitely has an element of surprise.
Does it for sure go to his house? Are we
Maybe
gonna
not.
go be with zombies again?
I mean, maybe. I feel like we can tell pretty quickly if it doesn't go to the house, though.
Yeah.
As you quickly and quietly open this trap door after clearing the brush and dead leaves off of it, you look down and you see a wet tunnel made of dirt walls and floor. And it looks like it leads directly to the house.
Do we want to like come at him from two different directions, or like?
That might be a good idea.
I'm also kind of feeling like we might want to put his fire out. They seem to really like the fire.
Yeah, that could be a good idea.
Okay. Did he have? What did he have inside? Was it a fireplace or something? Or
Yeah, he's staring into the fireplace.
And the fire looked like normal yellowish fire. It wasn't the white
looked-
stuff that you keep seeing around.
Hopefully it's easy to put out like a regular fire.
I don't have enough Mountain Dew left. I don't think. I've only got a liter.
Well, there's probably some kind of grating or something in there he has to turn off the fire when he's done with it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Yeah. I don't really know how fireplaces work because that's kind of just like a hazard in a trailer. But, okay, I'll go kick in the door. I'll wait for your signal.
You have a phone? Can Ammon text you maybe or something if you put your phone on silent, and then that's when you know we're in?
Yeah, sounds good. Just text me. It's 876 555 5555.
Okay,
All
got it.
fives all the way down. Yeah.
I am.
Easy to remember.
Yep. Although I have Sprint, so I don't have Signal. So, but text will probably go through eventually, so it's probably fine. If it takes me a while to get back with you, it's because I've got a Nokia brick phone from like the early 2000s, and it's like a QWERTY keyboard, so you just gotta but yeah, okay, all right, sounds good. I'll sneak up. I'll give them a minute before I try to move closer, in case I'm not as stealthy as I happen to be this time.
Should we roll to see if the text goes through?
I think I'm going to make that one behind the screen. Ammon and Vincent, you drop into this dirty, wet tunnel. And it's a short ways. Partway along the tunnel, you can see where it has been cut through the stone foundation of the house. And you look up, and you can see a trapdoor above you, 20 feet on the other end. Benny, you've snuck up to the front door, and you have your phone out. Little tiny Nokia screen barely lighting up your face.
I hang out, try to be as quiet as I can. I probably breathe like a dwarf, so it's probably not super quiet, but I'm ready to
Could have shot him in the dark.
ready to bust it in a moment's notice.
All right, go ahead and make a stealth check. While Ammon and Vincent, which of you is going up first?
Vincent will go up first.
There's a small ladder leaning up against one of the walls, and you look up, start climbing it, and put your hand against the trapdoor and push very slowly. And the trickle of firelight comes in, and you can hear now the crackle of the fireplace in Thane's cabin. Benny, what'd you get?
7.
There's a snap. Side. Benny, you look down and you've broken a twig right on the doorstep. And you all sort of immediately hear this ringing inside your heads again. Just this high-pitched CRT TV kind of sound. You hear a voice that you have come to associate with danger. Who is it?
I want to try to put the sledge through the door, and then I'm looking to stick my head in and be like, "Here's Johnny!"
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Covered in clown paint and blood from the pipe bomb, kind of mixed together, like bloody tears like down my face. Sorry, I'm rolling to break through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. 8. I just need it big enough for my head.
It is big. The door does not come down. It only gives you that like little bit of a space that you can look in through. And
Thane, come out and play. Thane, where are you?
I'm gonna have you make a check to scare the living daylights out of this guy. This is not gonna be a high difficulty.
Roll the 1.
Amazing. The dice are on your side. They love what's happening.
We only had one VHS growing up, and it was The Shining. I've been waiting for this moment.
Vincent, what are you doing as this is happening? Just so I can
Probably
fully
gonna
describe
sneak in
the
and
scene.
use this window of opportunity as he's turned towards the door. Probably try to use that to sneak in.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make
He's
a
distracted.
stealth check.
6.
Because of the natural one, the critical, this is not a difficult thing for you to do. You can see Thane, who his face is normally frozen from his burns, but now as he sees this terrifying visage peering at him through a hole in his front door, his eyes go wide. What
Is there
are
somewhere
you?
in there that Vincent could conceal himself once he gets in?
Under
Potentially
the
next to
covers on the bed,
fireplace?
maybe?
Okay. Or under the bed, potentially?
Yeah, could go under the bed.
Okay. Okay, that's probably where he would go.
So you drop and quickly roll underneath the bed. Ammon, what are you doing? Everything's happening rapid fire.
Yeah. I mean, I think that first goal would be to turn off the fire. Second goal would be to be sneaky about it. So, however you want. I don't know how to handle that, but
How would you want to put out the fire?
I mean, for most fireplaces, isn't there like you can close the flue, or you can like.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, there is this isn't a full like open fireplace. This is just a wood stove.
Okay.
And so you quickly run over to it, close the door to seal the heat inside, and then push the flue in and just enclose the whole thing to suffocate it. He absolutely notices this. He's sort of like you can see his eyes still wide, just dart to the side as this happens. What spirits come to visit me tonight?
Juggalos have come to play, Thane. The Juggalos have come to play. I'm gonna keep working on this door until I get through.
All right, it doesn't
Kinda
take
just-
you long. It takes you another 2 swings before the hinge, before the latch breaks. Push it open, still making the face.
I hear you've been a very naughty boy, Thane. Very naughty. Tell me what you've done, Thane. Tell me what you've done.
I've only done. I was told, Master. And when he says master, the ringing inside your heads increases in volume.
Where is my artifact, Thane? Where is it?
It is with the ritual, master. It is in our basement, beneath, just as you requested.
Thane, do you have sprint? Did you not get my last message?
Sprint.
Never mind, Thane. Never mind.
You. And he's going to make a check of his own. His eyes narrow. You would dare blaspheme
Benny's not here right now.
The room continues to get darker. The fire turns to just the red coals. What have you done? The ringing gets even louder, making you all wince slightly.
Tell me, Benny. Tell me how to send your master back to where he came.
He is not here. Still on his way, and nothing can stop it. Master will arrive, and the world will be cleansed.
Not if the Juggalos have anything to say about it, Benny. I'm gonna take a swing at him. I'm going for like a top-down kind of chop on his head.
Make an attack roll.
4.
With a 4, you take your sledgehammer and swing it straight down. There's suddenly a flash of white light. And you swing straight down and hit nothing. You can hear Thane's voice, sourceless now. Our worship will not be stopped. The cube will answer for your crimes. You will be punished. And Thane is gone.
Vincent would probably crawl from under the bed at this point.
Is it over?
It's okay. It's okay, Vincent. It's just me. It's just Benny. Sorry, I got in character there for a second.
That was good. You definitely scared him before he, got even weirder, but you did scare him, so good job.
Thanks. Do you think he keeps like a diary or something? Like,
He seems like the kind of person that might.
or like a murder wall? Is there like a murder wall in here anywhere? Like that explains his plan? Usually they're supposed to explain the plan before, like, because I feel like we're in a movie, right? Like they're supposed to explain the plan, and then we know how to stop them. And I mean, you know what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can Vincent look and see if he finds anything that he would recognize as showing any other details about this entity?
I believe the investigation talent specifically says looking for clues. So yes,
Cool.
yes, please do.
Got a 1.
Oh man, the dice are so on the side of telling a good story tonight. Almost immediately you find a desk and target that. It's got to be in here. And the first drawer you open has a small journal. It doesn't have a label on the front or anything, but you pick it out and start thumbing through the pages. As the story goes on, the handwriting gets worse and the grammar deteriorates. The general gist of what you get, though, is Thane used to be just this normal guy. He was the survivor of a terrible fire. Not in this town, it was in the next town over. But he came here and started, and the people here were kind enough to set him up in a house nearby, take care of him when he needed things. But ever since the blaze, he had these dreams of white flame. They continued to get worse and worse. You can see at some point, maybe several months ago, it looks like, he heard the voice of the master, and that's what he keeps referring to as the master. And in the more recent entries, he's been counting down the days until the master's return. And it is supposed to happen today. You can see he's been preparing for it. The ritual downstairs was part of it. It was one of many steps that have been taken. You don't see anything entered in here about you three, or even any of the other villagers mentioned by name. But the center point of where this is going to happen is the cube in the church.
As it relays this to the others.
While Vincent's doing that, and tell me if I'm able to do this, GM. So I know how to make improvised explosives. Can I see if I can work something up with what he's got here?
Go ahead and make a check.
Three.
Yeah. You cobble together a real quick pipe bomb. You've made enough now where if you get the right materials in the right place, you can put it together in a couple minutes.
Em, when the revolution comes, you might want to know how to do this. So it's pretty simple here. I'll just walk you through the process. My anarchist cookbook was in the backpack, but it's okay. It's all in here. But I can get you a copy too, so you're not on any kind of FBI watch list or anything like that. But I talk as I continue the process. I think this, I don't have a pipe, but I think this old coffee canister, it's pretty good, so if there's any small metal bits that you see, we could stuff that in there too, if you could help me out, any bolts or anything like that, we'll just put it in here.
Vincent probably looks in some of junk drawers, maybe he finds a couple and gives them.
Yeah, you find a couple Vincent. Stray razor blades.
Perfect.
All right. So with one more common explosive ready to go, you all set out back towards the church, and as long as it hasn't moved, the bus, which, if you'll recall, Garlax did fix.
Oh no. Oh.
So, It doesn't take you long to get back into town. The air feels different now. There is this tension, almost like electricity is suffused throughout the whole place. The sky is still bright and clear and cold. As you're approaching the town in the distance, without a single sound, you can see a white beam of light shoot straight up out of the tower of the church. As you approach, is there anything you want to prepare?
So once Moore gets his pitchfork at the ready and he checks to make sure that his switchblade pocket knife thing is still in the front pocket.
How's my makeup? Is it good?
It looks even better than when you put it on. It really has the right effect to it, I think.
Awesome. Just enough red in there? Cool.
Yeah, got just the right amount.
The three of you continue towards the church. Final location. The bus is still there. Off. I believe Vincent has the keys right now.
Yeah, I think he still does.
That might be important later.
Yeah. Vincent probably, when he's trying to feel to make sure where he put the pocket knife, he probably feels the keys and he's like, that's right, I have those.
You can see Thane again inside this church. The stone statue still has its scattered pieces all about beneath it, beneath the cube. The cube itself has opened up to this beam of light shooting straight up out of it, and Thane is floating about 5 feet off the ground, legs straightened and arms wide, staring up, basking in the glow of this light. He wears these elegant white robes as he stares upwards through the hole in the roof that this beacon has blown. As you walk in, the ringing resumes inside your head.
Welcome back to our place of worship. Thank you for coming to your doom. Now, you will be silenced, and you will not interfere in the coming of the Master.
And I need everyone to make reaction checks.
3.
2.
8.
No. 1 comes after 3, 2.
This isn't fear-based, right?
No. This is not fear-based. All right. First up is Ammon. As Thane turns to face you, you can see him inside both his hands, fully controlled, are 2 balls of white flame, and he makes to throw one of them at you. You're up first. What are you doing?
know, because attacking him was not great last time. But let's try it. Can't think of anything else.
With your hatchet, go ahead and run. You run towards Thane with it wielding it above your head. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
A 4.
A 4 hits. You do 1 point of damage as you slash into one of his calves as he's still like 5 feet off the ground. When you hit him, he and falls about 2 feet closer to the ground. Next up is Vincent.
Vincent gets out his pitchfork and charges at him with it.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
7.
And with a 7, he actually moves. He phases like slightly, almost teleporting 2 feet to the left. And your pitchfork hits absolutely nothing. And he's up next. He takes his ball of flame and throws it straight at Ammon. I need you to make an avoid check, please.
A 2.
You dodge, like your head just cocks to one side as the ball of fire just narrowly misses you, and it hits one of the tapestries behind you and just explodes, igniting this beautiful tapestry from the bottom. It begins to burn, illuminating this place even more with the same white, pale light. Benny, you're up.
Yeah, I think so. He's floating in the air above.
Not by much anymore. He's only like 2 feet off the ground.
And then above him is the crystal thing.
Behind him is the cube that is still floating and shooting up a beam into the sky.
I think I'm gonna move past them and take a swing at the cube again. I didn't do anything last time, but
it seemed to work. Go ahead and make an attack roll against the cube.
I feel like I was given this sledgehammer for a reason, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's for a reason. I rolled a 2.
With a
I rolled
2,
a D8 for inanimate objects, by the way. Hopefully
right, yeah,
was
it's
right.
breaking
Okay.
stuff, not attacking necessarily.
Cool.
With a 2, you swing the sledgehammer.
Can I hit play on my CD player again and like Limp Bizkit's like break stuff like comes on?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a mixed CD.
Yes, it is. As the music plays, pumping you up, the sledgehammer swings almost in slow motion, collides with the side of this cube, and you can see the same white cracks start to spiderweb across its surface. The beam of light shooting out up into the sky flickers like it's losing power. Next up at the top of the turn order is Ammon.
Let's hit Thane again.
All right, hit things again with the hatchet.
7.
7 is not enough. He easily just floats slightly to the side and winds up for another attack. But Vincent, it's your turn.
Vincent's also going to charge at him again.
Another attack roll.
Yeah, 2.
2 is going to hit. He takes another point of damage as your pitchfork doesn't run him through, but manages to like stab into his side slightly, and he's going to take a ball of fire and hurl it towards your face. Vincent, please make an avoid check.
Okay. Six, but I want to know, Vincent does have heat resistance, and I don't know if that has anything plays into this at all.
Aha. And remind me what heat resistance does.
Heat resistance, you roll a d8. I need to look at the... I don't know if
Looking
you have
it
it
up as
probably
well.
Yeah. I know I wrote D8 next to it, so he rolls a D8 maybe for avoiding damage? I don't remember exactly.
Yes,
what it
so your
was.
avoid check would take a D8. Would use a D8.
Okay, okay, I rolled the D10 for what I just did, so should I roll the D8 instead?
Yes, please.
Okay. 3.
3 is a success as this blazing white fire just passes across your head, and something about your research, something that happened to you in the past, gave you this ability, and the fire just does not affect you at all. Next up is Benny again.
I think Benny's just going to work on this thing.
All right. Go ahead and make another attack roll.
Rolled a 1.
You have been breaking things all night. You've gotten used to this sledgehammer. You choke up slightly, and as you swing again, another slow motion to the side, you bring the hand down to the end to get as much momentum as possible, and this heavy steel lump at the end of this sledgehammer collides with the side of this cube, and there is another brilliant flash of light as the beacon shoots up into the sky again, more powerful than before flickering out and descending into darkness. Thane shouts out, "No! No!" It is Ammon's turn.
Yes. And I'll attack him again.
All right.
I'm throwing my dice today. 3.
3 will hit. Go ahead and you do another point of damage. And as your hatchet buries itself, this time in his arm, he just sort of loses it to the side, and the fire in that palm goes out. He is not looking too good. Next up is Vince.
Vincent's also going to come at him with the pitchfork again. 2.
Another hit. You guys are just wailing onto this thing in front of you. This horror who has lost everything and now is about to lose his life on top of it. You stab him right in the gut this time, and his feet find the floor as he goes down to one knee. Blood pools out of his mouth from between his missing teeth. It is now his turn. He is going to take the fire again, and this time throw it at Benny. Benny, please make an avoid check.
Two.
That is, you guys are rolling so good right now. The fire just misses entirely, explodes against the other side, shattering a window of the church. And then back to the top. No, not back to the top. Benny, it's your turn.
I'm gonna ask Thane here. Can your master still hear us?
He knows everything.
I'm gonna move up to Thane, and I'm gonna look him in the eye, and I'm gonna say, "We have enough problems here without you coming here and doing horrible things to all these innocent people. We've got enough problems." And I'm gonna hand him the coffee canister, and I'm gonna say, "If you come back, the next time I'm coming for you." And then I'm gonna suggest that we all walk out of here like Charlie's Angels. Benny's not quite a Charlie's Angels with his 6'2", 300 pounds, but he's
His clown makeup.
in his clown makeup. I assume he's on fire. He was on fire, so I'm hoping that that'll cook off. Is what I'm going for. But we might actually want to run, though. Actually, just for safety. I still can't hear very well out of my left ear.
All right. Ammon and Vincent, are you following Benny as he
Yep.
sprints out of the
Yeah.
church?
Yep.
Seeing
for
you
sure.
recognizing the pipe bomb.
Yeah.
And as you sprint as fast as you can, all of you out of this doorway, 2 seconds later, you hear, "No!" And from inside this church, an explosion wrecks everything. All of the windows get shattered. You can feel a wave of heat just wash over you from behind. The bus rocks slightly, and you can see the church now catching fire again. The whole building, a familiar yellow tone. All of the white flame has been extinguished. The beacon is gone. And the bus is there waiting for you.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I've always wanted to burn down a church.
Well, you got your dream granted today, so good for you.
It is kind of a pretty sight. I'll agree.
So are we like a team now? Like, can we go around doing this in other places? Because this was awesome.
Maybe.
And I have like half a job, but it was way more fun.
My job is to research stuff, and I definitely got my money's worth for that bus ticket I bought, tell you that much.
As I'm like thinking about it though, like that poor Thane guy, right?
I
Like,
feel sorry for him, but
yeah, this poor guy. I mean, all the people that we like murdered downstairs for sure, but like this poor guy had this tragic thing happen to him, and then like he goes to a place where people are like nice to him and like help him out, you know, because like it's a cruel world out there, you know, and like these people, like it's not like they have a lot, but they like took care of this guy. It seems like a really nice story, and then whatever the master is comes here. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like maybe we could find him, because I feel like we've got a score to settle, right, on behalf of all these people. I'm just saying. I'm just think about it. Just, you know, I was gonna save up and maybe go to college eventually, but I'll be honest, I'm probably not gonna make it through. I don't really write very well, or so like we could be like a team though. That's all I'm saying.
you got plenty of skills. I think they'll do you well and carry you far in life, Benny.
I
College or no
appreciate that,
college. You're
that
welcome.
Vincent.
Is Garlax okay?
Probably
Oh, God,
not. He was
Garlax.
possessed before, so
Yeah, he was
I don't know if he's
possessed.
still
maybe-
possessed now, but maybe maybe
Yeah.
he's not possessed now.
Hey, we should just go over there like really cool and just be like, "Hey, Garlax,
Yeah.
next town, man." Let's go. Let's go check on him.
Fine, we gotta check and see if he's good to drive. You know, if not, I'll drive.
I'm out of Band-Aids and Mountain Dew, but hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, hopefully. If he's not good to drive, I can still drive.
After a little bit of searching, you do manage to find Garlax sort of passed out in a field.
And so, like,
Been there.
pokes at him carefully.
Is it morning? Oh,
Not yet. It can't come soon enough, though, in my opinion.
I had the weirdest dream.
I'm gonna like stand over him from behind.
Oh, is that you,
It's
Benny?
just Benny. It's just Benny.
Oh, don't do that, man.
I'm sorry. You just like tried to kill us earlier, so I feel like just messing with you a little bit. It's just we're cool now. We're good.
I forgive you for stabbing me in the shoulder.
Yeah, you did stab Vincent.
I'll be okay. The
I'm
worst is
so
happening.
sorry. Good. I'm glad. If I remember correctly, we were planning on getting out of here at some point.
Yep. I I think that's about now.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a
let's
plan
go.
to me.
Where's the bush? And his eyes widen as he sees the flaming place of worship behind the bus.
Oh, I burned down the church. Well, we burned down the church, but I'd like to take some credit
Right.
for it if you guys don't
I
mind.
made a
Could-
pipe
if-
bomb out of
if-
a coffee can.
Did most of the work burning down the church, for sure.
Oh, thanks. You guys are nice.
You know what? You know what? Just tell me about it on the way. I cannot stand being in this godforsaken town one more minute.
It wasn't too bad, but yeah, let's get out of here.
It was pretty
Vincent helps him
bad.
up off the ground. You can keep my jacket, by the way.
You sure?
Yeah, you can have it. I can get another one at the thrift store.
Thanks. I like it.
Good.
All right. Let's get out of here. Holds his hands out for the keys.
Vincent digs them out of his pocket, hands them to him.
He plays with them, swinging them around his finger for a second. Yeah. Let's get the hell out of here. You all climb aboard the bus, and he starts it up. It picks up speed and drives out of town on a road that has reappeared. As you all continue down this road, driving off into the sunrise. None of you take a moment, not a single one of you takes a moment to look behind at the billowing smoke cloud above this town and the bright white pair of eyes form in it for but a moment, watching you leave with malice. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this second part and finale of Garlax. That was amazing. That was so
amazing.
intense.
That was. It was awesome.
Oh man. So I know I mentioned this to you guys before, but this is not the first time I've run Garlax on this channel. The first time was a couple longer episodes. We did it through D&D at level 4 or something. And that one went very differently than this one did. You guys got the good ending,
Cool.
which is not what I was expecting. I was honestly trying to kill you.
Oh, we were all like one hit away from dying, I believe.
Yeah. I was up to 2 out of
But
3,
and then
so.
though that last string of rolls where you just avoided every single attack that Thane threw at you, because his attacks deal 2 damage, but not a single one of them hit.
We had a full happy ending. I feel like
did.
Yeah, you 100% did. That was
Benny's
amazing.
definitely gonna take some paper, like tear it, like basically card style, and write on it Benny, and then his number, and then like Juggalo services, and then make sure everybody has one before he.
Amazing.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Thank you guys so much for joining me for this. I love running horror games, if you couldn't tell. I don't do it too often, but I find that when I do, I lean into it really, really hard, at least in comparison to most of the other stuff that I end up doing. So I was glad to be able to share this game with you 3. Real quick, in case our audience wants to find you guys elsewhere across the socials, where can they find you? Let's start with Ashley.
My name is Ashley Craft. I played Vincent tonight. You can find me on all socials at Ashley Craft, or on Twitter it's Ashley_Craft, but that's where you can find me on pretty much most social websites.
Thanks for joining us, Ashley. And Night Hero?
Yeah, I'm at Night Hero most places. You can find me on YouTube, Homebrew Tabletop, where I talk about all things TTRPG, board games, etc. So, Homebrew Tabletop.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Len.
My name is Len. You can find me at wood.len.creature. And yeah, thank you for coming. It was a good time.
Yes, I think so too. Again, thank you all for playing. Viewers, thank you all for watching. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did playing through this. You know what? This one was good enough that I might have to put it on my to-watch list to re-listen to this story again, because it was a lot of fun. Thank you all. Happy time zone, and remember, everything is going to be okay. Thanks for watching, everybody.